I watch a lot of content creators, and you wouldn't really even understand the amount of content creators I watch. I try to keep myself up to date with everything going on with these content creators. And I decided, since I'm keeping up to date, why don't I keep you guys up to date too? So first, let's go ahead and talk about the commentary community. So right now, the biggest thing within the commentary community is iDubbbz's Content Cop. He came out with this about a week ago, I believe. And if you don't know who iDubbbz is, he's a commentary channel of over 7 million subscribers. And the Content Cop he made, and if you don't know what Content Cop is, it's like a huge exposed video on whoever the Content Cop's about. And the Content Cop is about Ethan, H3H3, who was a friend of his. And H3H3 is another YouTuber of millions of subscribers. So he made a Content Cop on a friend of his. Well, they're not friends anymore, but they used to be very good friends. Now, this threw everybody in the commentary community for a loop, and you have a lot of these commentary channels commenting on it, making videos about the Content Cop and saying it's bad. Even H3H3 himself said it's pretty bad. So what iDubbbz decided to do was follow it up with a Content Cop, or Content Deputy, my bad. Whenever he follows up a Content Cop, he always calls it Content Deputy. So he followed it up with that video. I believe that video came out 2 days ago or a day ago. I watched it all. It wasn't super interesting to me. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But you already have people dogpiling on this man for that video too. And right now, as I'm making this video, H3H3 is streaming and he's talking, like he's just, he's completely annihilating the video that iDubbbz made. Another thing I wanna bring up is the little boxing event. What is it called? Creator Clash, yeah. Creator Clash, the thing that iDubbbz created, where YouTubers box each other for charity. So he did 2 of these events so far, and Creator Clash 2, right? The second event was a huge failure, and actually pretty much nothing went to charity because he was in the red for that event. So that was a failure, but he decided to do a third one. He decided to do a third one, right? I believe, when is it happening again? All right, so it's happening June 28th, which is just next month. So it's happening pretty soon, and all of a sudden he decided, you know what? Since I decided to make this Content Cop on Ethan, on H3H3, and a lot of people are coming after me and my events, it's best if I just, don't host the event anymore. Which is pretty crazy to do when it's just a month away. So now you got drama with that, and that's pretty funny. Also, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I dread playing clips from other channels. This is my channel, so I kind of want to be yapping all the time. But I gotta play this real quick so I can comment on something.
This year I said I'm gonna do something different. I'm going to fight back if someone's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized, I can't really have my cake and eat it too. It's either you're gonna talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're gonna have a charity event.
Now, this one clip irks me. It just irks me how iDubbbz keeps saying, oh, this charity event, I'm not gonna be hosting anymore. It might not do well because of this whole situation. So I'm gonna step back from it. And it just irks me the wrong way because there's other ways you can do charity, You don't gotta go through this whole entire event and pay out these people. There's other ways you can do charity. You can do charity through your own content. You can start streaming. You can start doing every sub goes to charity. There's other stuff he can do. I don't understand why he's harping on this, right? But that's just something I wanted to talk about. That's pretty much all I have to say for the commentary community right now. There's some more stuff I could delve into, but I'm not going to. If you wanna see a little bit more about this, you can watch, of course, iDubbbz's video, his original Content Cop, and the Content Deputy, and then you can go and watch H3's, go to the H3 podcast, or is it just H3 podcast, and check out his videos responding to it, and then you can check out other key players in the commentary community, like Asmongold, for example, or what is it, Rev? Also check out people on the other side too, I guess, maybe. I don't know how to feel about them though, because I don't watch those types of people. But go ahead and watch whoever you want on this situation. But I'm not gonna delve into it too much. I've been explaining this situation for too long, and there's some other things I wanna talk about. Also, I'm so sorry that this moist critical picture has been back here. I was trying to work on another video before this one, but I decided to scrap it and just go with the news type thing. Anyways, I'm on this for too long. Let's go to the next community. All right, let's go ahead and head over to the cartoon community. Over here, there's allegations against Saberspark. If you don't know who Saberspark is, he's someone who has over 2 million subscribers, and he talks about cartoons. He's pretty big when it comes to the cartoon community, but he has some very serious allegations alleged against him. I just spent about 6 minutes reading this whole thing, but I'm not even gonna add that to the video. You know why? Because apparently I suck at reading. Okay, let me summarize this for you, my dudes. Let me just go ahead and summarize this for you, okay? But apparently, as I said, I don't know if I said this before. I said this when I was making the 6-minute read thing, okay? But Saberspark is being accused of SA here by this anonymous user. Apparently, at this BronyCon, at this pony convention, right? Their very first pony convention, and this stuff always happens at these conventions for some reason. These conventions have the most degenerate people, man. It's crazy how much stuff actually happens here. But apparently, this was her first time meeting a celebrity, apparently, and celebrity is in quotation marks because I read somewhere at this time, Saberspark only had one video, so it's weird that this person's saying that they were a celebrity during this time. But I gotta see more facts. Saberspark still hasn't commented on this, so I'll say whatever his response to this is whenever he responds to it. But yeah, so what happened was they went to a PonyCon. She met her idol, Saberspark, at this PonyCon. Saberspark led her to his hotel room. They started making out, and then Saberspark threw her on the bed and inserted himself into her with no consent. That's what happened. And then there's another instance of this happening at another, pony convention. It was a BronyCon, and they went into an elevator, and Saberspark just shoved his tongue down her throat, and then just put her on her knees and had her do oral stuff on him, okay? Without consent again. And during these times, she disassociated from the situation because she couldn't believe what was happening. So that's this whole Saberspark situation. That's the allegations being alleged against them. Again, these are just allegations. There's no proof. These were just dropped out of nowhere. We don't even know who the person who's alleging this is. If you want my thoughts on this situation, situations like this are always tricky, because I don't want to downplay this, because this is very serious stuff. But I always find it situations like this suck a lot, because anybody can come out and say this type of stuff. Anybody can come out and say this stuff. And with no proof, it's really hard to say if it's true or not. There's nothing here. We really got to wait for Saber's response, Saberspark's response. And also, there's another part of this situation, right, that completely made this situation worse. This whole situation, not worse for Saberspark, but worse for the person who came out with the statement, and worse for somebody who wasn't even involved with this. Hold on, let me explain this. All right, so this right here is Ilovekimpossiblealot. Goated name, by the way. This is the person who was apparently supposed to talk about this situation in video format a little bit more. They were just supposed to talk about this whole situation a little bit more because they knew about this for a while, apparently, which is crazy. And they never said anything about it, but they decided to drop a video about it. And they actually, this, I'm trying to not be mean, but apparently they were being so scummy about this situation. They were hyping up an SA video for content. And if you look right now, the video's not here. And do you know why it's not here? Because they got so much shit for the video that they took it down. Let's look at their post real quick. Hopefully it's still up. Thank God it's still up. All right, so right here with her post, it says, I heard the concerns about the recent video and want to acknowledge the parts of it didn't land the way I intended. While it was reviewed by several people, including CSA survivors who were comfortable with the tone, I now understand that others experienced it very differently, and that's valid. This was my first time covering a topic of this nature, and I'm still learning how to handle serious subject matter with the right level of care. I've taken the video down and am considering how to approach it more thoughtfully if it's revised. The intent was never to diminish anyone's story or experience. Thank you to those who provided feedback. I appreciate the chance to make the changes necessary to give proper respect to the material discussed. You want to know what edit she added to the video to be making this post right now?
I've come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog is a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on my fucking wife. That's right. He said his dick was this big, and I said, that's disgusting. So I'm making a call-out post on my Twitter.com. Shadow the Hedgehog, you got a small fucking dick. It's the size of this walnut, but way fucking smaller. And guess what?
This was a video talking about SA, by the way. So having edits like this, I don't even know what to say to it. You can only imagine why she took down the video. Anyways, I don't really want to go over this too much, because even in the video, she didn't even provide any new information. She legit said what that the Twitter post said, and that was it. If you want to see somebody roast her more about this whole situation, check out Cartoon She, man. He went in on her. And that's you can just look her up, and there's a lot of people who also go in on her. You can also look at the comments too, on or like Twitter, like Twitter people too. They go in on her, bro. She should not make another video on this situation. Like you only get one shot at that, right? I think that's it. You're done. You're done. No more essay. No more clout chasing for you. You're done with that. It's over. All right. I talked about this way too long. Let's move. Let's just move along. Wait a minute. One more thing. So I am subscribed to Saberspark at the moment, and depending on how he responds to this situation, we'll decide whether I say subscribe to him or not, because this is a pretty big deal. Hopefully none of this is true. You know, all this is just alleged. It's all alleged. There is no proof, but we'll see what happens, how this whole situation unfolds, depending on what Saberspark says. I mean, I really did like his videos. But all right, let's just go on to the next one. All right, next let's talk about the VTuber community. And I've been yapping a little bit too much, so I'm gonna try to go through this as quick as possible. So first, let me talk about Gargura. Gargura is the biggest VTuber, period. It's gonna be a while before anybody passes her. But the company she was with, HoloLive, right? The HoloLive VTuber company she was with, she graduated from that. She's done. She's done VTubing with HoloLive. And I have to say this because she has a past life account called Senzo Zawa, something like that. And, you know, eventually she'll come back to VTubing. I imagine she will. I mean, she was the biggest, or if she's done with it, she's done with it. But I'm just saying this just in case she comes back. So you know that this was the biggest VTuber, right? And if she comes back, it's going to be a pretty big deal, which I imagine she is. She has a lot of fans who are awaiting her return. So I'm just going to explain that when that happens. The next thing I have to talk about is the whole Sinder situation. If you don't know who Sinder is another VTuber. She's an independent VTuber, though, and a pretty big one at that, with a lot of friends in the VTuber community. All right, these VTubers are pretty tight-knit. And the one thing you don't want to do is betray those, you know, the friends you make in the VTuber community. And that's what Sinder did. So how did she betray them, you ask? Well, one way she betrayed them was gatekeeping her artists from all her friends. And she had one of the best artists in the VTubing scene. So that was a pretty big deal. And this whole situation got exposed by her artists exposing Sinder themselves. They said, you know, how Sinder was gatekeeping them and bad-mouthing all these other people and saying how their art would devalue, like how their models or however you explain VTubers, just their VTuber work would depreciate in value if they made it for basically everybody, right? And so that hurt them pretty deeply, and they ended up, well, there's a lot of other reasons why they ended up making the little expose on Sinder, but she badmouthed her friends behind their back. She basically was stepping on their heads to try to get to the top of the VTuber ladder, you know? She was trying to get up there. But now that this has been exposed, I don't think she's gonna climb much higher anymore. And I don't want, this isn't a situation I wanna delve into, because this is pretty, this is like a week old. That's pretty old, you know? I try to keep up with everything. I'm only talking about this right now because when Sinder makes a stream or anything like that, I'm gonna keep you guys updated on that, okay? I'm gonna tell you exactly what she does on the stream, what happens, and blah, 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 blah. I'm just gonna keep up to date with that. So that's why I'm talking about it right now. Other than that, the only other VTuber news I could really tell you is that HoloLive started a little Minecraft thing. What is it called? Let me check it out real quick, because I think somebody's streaming it right now. Before we even move on to the next clip, I just want to say this. As I was editing the video, I noticed that Sinder made a video titled that her artist exposes all her secrets. And it's funny, bro. It's like somehow these people predict their downfall. And, you know, just in this whole situation, it all started because her artist exposed her secrets. I thought it was funny. You know, let's move on to the HoloLive thing. All right, so this is what it is that they're doing right now. It's called Enigmatic Recollection. It's like a role play in Minecraft that they're doing. So if you want to check out the I'm pretty sure, is it only HoloKnife EN doing it? I think it's only them doing it, but you can go ahead and check them out. And I'm just watching Gigi because right now Gigi's my favorite member. Well, one of my favorite members. I'd really have to think about it. I'm probably going to go in and watch all these guys again and try to understand who's my favorite. Because I do like Kiara a lot and Ina a lot. But Gigi just has a lot of energy to her, and all I have to say is she plays MapleStory, I play MapleStory, that's the end of the story. Anyways, that's what they're doing right now. It's pretty interesting. I don't think it's as interesting as the GTA little role play they did. I thought that was awesome, bro. How long ago was that? That was sometime last year. I'm ranting too much. Let me move on to the next thing. Hold on. Again, I gotta hold on. Before I move on to the next situation, if you want to know more about the Sinder situation, make sure you check out Mujin's video. Probably like the best video on this whole situation. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes long. It's a really good video. I made sure to watch it all. And yeah, just go ahead and check it out because it's a really good video on the whole Sinder situation. I'm gonna leave a link below for the Mujin video. And yeah, let me move on to the last thing I want to talk about. The last thing I have to talk about is the lolcow community. And pretty much all I want to say about this, well, content creator wise, is I just want to talk about Wings of Redemption, okay? So if you don't remember Wings of Redemption pushed his wife. He's the guy who pushed his wife during lolcow live. That went pretty viral, you know, but we don't condone what Wings did. Anyways, Wings, he's been off the show, and he officially said that he won't be returning to the show. But the show won't really be worth watching without him, to be honest. So hopefully he does come back. lolcow Live is a show about lolcows, and Boogie's the only one who's on there. What's the point of watching it? It was such a good idea, you know, but where's the other lolcow at? They just added a fan to replace him. Or somebody's been in the community to replace him, but that doesn't work, you know. That's not gonna work out. We need Wings there. You need to put Wings back there, but Wings said he's not coming back, so I thought I would just share that, but eventually he will be back. But yeah, that's all the news I have to say for today. Now, after I finish talking about everything I want to update you with, I'm going to begin the yapping, all right? So before I did afterthoughts, now it's just going to be called the yapping. So I'm just going to say a lot of thoughts I have just pertaining to many different things. Today is going to be about the video itself. It's going to be a pain to edit, and I realized, like, towards the end of the video, bro, I should not be making the video like this. Like, I should not be making the video in a way where I have to put in a lot of edits, and I'm dreading the fact that I gotta go back and edit this, because there's a lot of stuff I gotta do, my dudes. Like, I really do love making videos, but bro, it sucks so bad when I gotta edit a video. It really does, because I just don't have time. I legit don't have time. But that's the one thing I'm dreading. I'm trying not to be like Omni. You know, if you know who Omni is, he's a news channel, right? Lay It Omni, you know, he talks about news. The reason I'm trying to do content like this now is because I was thinking so hard, right? I'm getting addicted to watching so many different people, but I'm trying to figure out how can I even make content out of that? And I thought, you know, why not go news? But then again, there's other news channels, right, on here. There's other news channels on YouTube. And I just kept thinking, how do I be different about them? And then I thought about it, right? You know, when I go to Omni doesn't tell me every single thing, all right? Like he doesn't tell me all content creators. Like, I don't remember him talking about Saberspark. I don't remember him talking about, he talked about the Sinder stuff. He didn't talk about the lolcow stuff. There's another situation I forgot to explain, bro. I realized that towards the end of my video. Like, there's another situation I forgot to explain about the Vtuber thing. There's this Vtuber named It's Fleas, and It's Fleas is apparently they're apparently going under another name, right? It's Fleas is another name now. They came back from, they were basically a different Vtuber before. And I'm just gonna explain this really fast. Apparently they did something bad before, right? They sent nudes to a minor, and they got deleted off the internet, and now they came back and somebody exposed them as the person they were before. And yeah, that's a whole situation. I didn't get to explain it, I'm sorry, but this has kind of been rushed a little bit because I'm going to start explaining this like a lot. I'm just going to be yapping about a lot of content creators and throwing them in your face repeatedly. And I got to explain this stuff now because this stuff pretty much already happened. And I know I'm going to have to talk about it again later. And I realized I could have there's another way I could have made this video where I don't got to edit it. But bro, I'm about to have to sit here for like an hour or two and put in like these little, oh yeah, this is iDubbbz and this is H3. And I realized I should not have made the video like that, but here we go. We're about to do it anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. But I watch a lot of content creators. This was the one way, you know, I thought about it like, oh, just keep you guys updated about all these guys because I love watching content creators, man. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure none of you guys seen the little stream I did on my other channel and on Twitch where I started watching like smaller people and I got addicted to it. I'm probably gonna have a section dedicated to just, I don't know. Like the smaller streamers are usually in a section, you know, like they're in the gaming community, they're in like the commentary community, they're somewhere, so I can always talk about them within that community. Or I might make a separate section for the smaller people, like the really small people like me. So you don't have to be like, oh, this man's talking about someone super small in the gaming community. I don't care about that. I might make up a little section for them because those guys are pretty addicting to watch too. I'm just so fascinated by it, you know, by the different things people do, the things that people do to stand out, their personalities, the people who act like, I don't know, the people who are exactly like other people, just seeing how they keep streaming, how they keep making videos, how they just go along with it, how they're trying to adapt, what they're trying to do. I'm just so addicted to it, man. I'm way too addicted to content at this point. So I'm just going to keep you guys updated about every single content creator, okay? So I'm trying to be as different as possible as I can from somebody like Omni. I'm not trying to only talk about the big drama because I do just like watching all these different content creators and just keeping up to date with everything content creator related, all right? So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna start, you know, fisting these videos at you like rapidly. So just be prepared for that, okay? But yeah, that's all I have to say, and that's the end of this video. I don't know how I'm gonna do outros, but we'll see whenever we're just gonna get the hang of it, all right? Bear with me, my dudes. Just bear with me. That's all I ask.